Welcome learners to this mini lecture corresponding with pages 185 to 187 of Technics and Civilization by Lewis Mumford. Today we will be talking about the struggle for existence that characterized the Paleotechnic phase. As we look at the struggle, it's important to note that progress was only possible through increased production. This fact started a cycle which went something like this. If progress was only possible through increased production, then products would have to be marketed to a larger population, which would spur on mechanical improvements and inventions which ministered to new desires and made people conscious of new necessities. In this fashion, the struggle for the market became the dominant motive in a progressive existence. During the Paleotechnic phase, the laborer had shifted from being someone who is an exhibition of personal pride and skill to labor simply becoming a commodity. And this occurred as in the machine age as opposed to the handicraft age. So if you look at labor as a commodity, then I think it's important to understand that the value of a commodity varies with the quantity of that commodity that's available to consumers. So for instance, if less oil is available to consumers, then we know that the price of gasoline is going to go up. As more oil is available, the price of gasoline goes down. And the same phenomenon occurred with the cost or the price of labor. So the more that the workers competed against each other, and the more workers that there were, the less the manufacturers had to pay for labor. This idea is going to have an important role on Thomas Malthus' essay on population, and I have a link posted to that in the New Knowledge folder of Learning Session 6, and you need to click on that link and read a little bit of his essay, but basically his essay talks about the fact that the population is tied to the food supply, and that population just on natural means will outstrip the food supply unless other things occur to limit that population. So as we look at the struggle and squeezing value out of the commodity, we talked about the lack of a concern for efficiency during the Paleotechnic age by the manufacturers. They did have a concern for the efficiency of the commodity of labor. In other words, they wanted to get the most use out of that labor that they possibly could for the least amount of money. So in order to increase profits, the manufacturer tried to squeeze all the value they could out of the commodity of the worker or the labor. Longer hours, fewer breaks, a faster pace, all these were a result of this attempting to squeeze value out of that commodity. This phenomenon was given the name of the struggle for existence. And in this struggle, wage workers competed against each other. The skilled worker competed against the unskilled worker. And even women and children competed against the male heads of families for work, for that opportunity to earn a subsistence wage. And, as we look at the three names on the PowerPoint slide, Thomas Malthus, we already mentioned his essay on population. Herbert Spencer, there's a link in the New Knowledge folder to the Wikipedia page for Herbert Spencer. And the Wikipedia page is pretty good. It talks about not only Herbert Spencer, but also his relation in some of his ideas to Charles Darwin and where they were on and where they were off and how they're related and how they're unrelated and so on. So I think it would be advantageous for you to look at both those links. And in fact, your threaded discussion board assignment this week, or for this mini lecture, is going to be to pick one idea out of Thomas Malthus, Herbert Spencer, Charles Darwin, and just talk about that and how it manifested in the Paleotechnic phase. Just in summary, make sure to complete the activity on the threaded discussion board that I just talked about. And also make sure to answer the essay question corresponding with this mini lecture that's located in the Learning Session 6 assessment. As always, if you have any questions or problems, contact your instructor. Thank you for watching this mini lecture.